Welcome to this session. Good to see so many people. We should have reserved a bigger room for this, I guess, but this is what it is. So good to see you all. My name is Juho Nevalainen, coming from a company called Sofigate. Little bit more about that in a moment. I come from Finland, Helsinki. First time in Build.Stuff, first time in Vilnius, first time in Lithuania, so completely a newbie here, but so yeah, thank you for the small applause. But it's good. Oh. Thanks. Good to see that your weather is as ugly as we have in Helsinki, so we are even, like no pressure or anything. So my title for you today is from months into days. I'm gonna be talking about how to minimize time to value in business development with the help of AI, and little bit maybe different kind of a presentation than many of us. I'm not focusing too much on technology or let's say I'm not starting to code here, more into leadership and management. The way I'm gonna do this is first give you a couple of some introductions and background. Then what do I even mean with the whole concept of time to value, and there's a bit of a demo in the end, because yeah, you know, this is a tech conference, so obviously we need to have a small demo, not just slideware. But yeah, so I work in Sofigate as a CTO, head of our AI services. Little bit about Sofigate so that you understand my perspective into this topic. So we are not a traditional management consultancy company, even though we operate in that area. So but we are not a software company either. So we are somewhere in between. So basically, we help our customers in doing transformation in the era of AI, what we do and how do we do that is that we combine modern low-code, no-code platforms and then transformation excellence. In practice, what do we do? In short, here are some numbers. You can check them out later on if you're interested, but basically the cycle there tells the story. So we combine advisory business and you know, all sorts of project management support and program management and transformation support and etc. with leading technologies like Salesforce and SAP and ServiceNow, these kinds of platforms. So we kind of provide technology services as well, but we are not developing or coding them from scratch. We've been in the business 20 years and operate in multiple countries in the Northern Europe. Maybe that's in short. One key topic as well is that for the last, I don't know, 15 years or something, we have been developing, this is kind of a not non-profit part of our business. We've been developing this kind of a management framework that we call Business Technology Standard. The idea being that how can we in an easy way tell business management how to lead IT and digital development, because you know, world is full of different kinds of management frameworks and all sorts of nice guidebooks, but they are very often made for technical persons and people who really do the they run the technology themselves or they run the development in details. But the business guys in the top level of the companies, they hardly have any idea what do you really do when you lead IT and digital development. So anyway, this is a free of charge framework or model. You can check it out if you want at managebt.org. You don't need to register or anything. So it has been made in an open source manner. So check it out if you're interested. But yeah, to the topic. So as you probably have noticed, the things are moving quite fast at this point of time, and that's why I really think that it's very crucial for companies and organizations to be able to minimize the time to value. In other words, how can we generate some very useful concrete outcomes with the help of AI. So in the morning, in the keynote session, if you're there, I think that was an excellent session, by the way, when talking about that is AI any kind of a hype or is it a bubble or what the hell is it even? So to be able to really prove that it is not just hype and not just bubble or anything, so we need to be able to deliver measurable business outcomes with the help of that. And obviously that should happen much faster than previously, so that we can say that there is actually some value in the AI topic. So let's deep dive into that one a little bit more into details. First, looking at from the distance, that what's even happening. So I'm sure you have seen all of these kinds of graphs here and there. These ones are from Stanford University AI Index report, showing that all sorts of graphs, how AI is now better and bigger and more efficient and more accurate and less errors and all of that. More investments going into AI development all the time. The numbers are increasing all the time and so forth and so forth. I guess today they announced that Anthropic would go public, or they would list it publicly in the stock exchange with ridiculous numbers of value there. So just as a recent news. So basically one could say that everything is looking quite good, right? So all the charts are going up. But then again, if we look at the productivity, as you probably have seen it already, that if you compare United States and Europe, we have basically lost the game already. So the gap is so huge and it's increasing basically all the time. So is that really like AI is becoming better and better all the time, but still the productivity gap is increasing compared with the different areas. So, and if you take a little bit closer look, again from the Stanford Index report, saying that if you ask people that how much more productive they've become with the help of AI, almost 50% is saying that something between 0 and 20%. 20% productivity increase. That's nothing. If you take a look at like high-skilled workers' productivity gains, especially in the software engineering and consulting and stuff, so it's even less. so this cannot be. We are not exactly there yet. I mean, what the marketing slides are saying, right? Another thing is that it's quite, I don't know, alarming or something that people may not be even keeping up to speed. So, for example, if you take a look at the highest there, it says that I have good understanding what artificial intelligence is. Well, okay, little bit more than 60%, but the numbers are not increasing anymore. So basically, we can see that within a couple of last years, it has gone not anywhere. Same kinds of that I know which types of products and services use artificial intelligence. So just 1% or 2% increase and so forth. So it kind of tells that are people really getting up or staying up to speed with the AI development? At Sofigate, we did our own little research. No, is there something wrong with this one? Among our top customers, it's something like 30 different Nordic major companies, and this was done just like a couple of 1 month ago or something, like very fresh. So it's basically saying that, which is a little bit more promising, saying that there are actually clearly companies who are already getting quite a lot of actually competitive advantage with the help of generative or AI. But on the other hand, you can clearly see that there is the front group and then the other ones are lagging behind, and this gap is increasingly widening. So we are definitely seeing that companies and organizations, they are kind of being divided into a couple of groups. the leaders are definitely the leaders, and then the rest are very much following. Well, maybe this one was said already, but this is quite interesting. One more graph that well, first of all, yeah, of course they do a lot of trainings, but we also see some numbers also for the AI agents, which seem to be the hot topic already these days. And here, actually, surprisingly, many organizations, especially in the front group, they are saying that actually they are already they are implementing agents, not just using ChatGPT or Copilots, but really taking AI agents into use. And even more interesting is that actually those investments that they are putting into developing agents or AI in general, it's more. Many organizations already are putting hundreds of thousands of euros into the development instead of like just testing out things with where euros would be in some thousands of euros. So quite promising and good to see that especially in the Nordic or Northern European market, we are kind of seem to be that at least some companies are getting up to speed in the development. So to summarize this background a little bit, I tried to explain this to my daughter, who is 9 years old, and she's a big fan of Harry Potter, by the way. So I tried to explain it in a way that now it seems that many organizations are like Harry Potter in the first day at the Hogwarts wizard school, right? And there you have the AI as the magic wand, right? But it's not only but the most talented individuals who really get something out of it. This, if you have watched the movies or read the books, that this girl is the top talent there. The rest of the students are just getting their hands burned and stuff. So I guess that's what's happening in the market these days. Okay, so how could we then get more value out of the AI? So going into the time to value topic, and if what do we even mean with that? Is this kind of a simple model, if you will. So how do we lead and develop or lead the digital development? Is obviously you have these three phases, like plan, build, and run, the normal things, and then around it is the transformation leadership. Obviously, you need to thoroughly lead what is being developed, right? Now, when is the value actually even realized in this kind of, when do you get some value out of it? It's typically somewhere here, I'm sure that only after you get the employees really to use the newly developed stuff. Basically, one could say that everything before this is just costs, right, or investments, but then there's nothing coming out of it unless you are able to release something and then get people to really use them. Typically, what we see within our customers and generically is that organizations are rather good in kind of running the IT projects or in the building phase, and then particularly running the IT services or newly developed services that has come out of it, right? So that roughly works. I mean, of course, you have differences, but what one could say that maybe these parts are covered. But where the companies then are typically struggling is that how to plan something. So how do you actually design and plan things that are really useful and really valuable for the business? That's typically what we see is the struggling part. And also then when you are releasing something, how do you really get people on board? How do you really make sure that they know how to use these things and so forth and so forth? And obviously then the overall transformation leadership, typically that has not been the strength of the IT organizations. I don't know, do you agree or not? But that's at least that's what we see when we work with different customers. So basically, what what typically is the result of this is that you get working solutions, but they just may not be the fit for business. So IT guys are very good at building new solutions, but if you have been a little bit struggling in the planning phase, maybe it's not just result in much value. Then on the other hand, if you release it in a way that people are not fully on board, then the solution might be very good. It's just that no one knows how to use it. Otherwise, it's fine. And then or no one knows about it, and then obviously maybe they don't even know how to use them. What we are now seeing and advising our customers is that actually with the help of AI now, we should actually start getting into from these traditional or even traditional agile development projects into something that is more productive and more value is realized much faster. This is of course not depending on companies and different situations, and it's not a one size fits all type of a model. But in a way, one could say that when we went from traditional waterfall projects, we brought the plan and build or the build and run closer to each other. We came up with something that we call DevOps typically. It's very good. It already increased the time to value quite a lot. It's just that the planning phase is still in the DevOps models very often a little bit separated, right? So if you follow SAFe models or anything, then it's typically the PI plannings are quarterly or every 3 months or 4 months or whatever. So kind of the building and running, that works nicely, but what about the planning and so forth? But what if with the help of AI we could finally then combine all of these phases and also get the business people into this cycle more efficiently? Maybe from that angle we could see another major leap in the efficiency. Now, what to do that or how to do that in practice then? I collected couple of tips or let's say tips or secret sources. So one being that in order to do that, what we typically see or tell our customers is that you need to bring the business guys from the background into actually getting their hands dirty and really do and really own what is it that you're trying to do. So very often in our customers we see situations where some top business manager comes into the kickoff meeting and saying that this is the big vision, this is what I want to achieve, and then the guy leaves and comes back after 3 months and asking that, okay guys, what did you achieve that, and why isn't the final product actually at all what was discussed in the beginning? So meaning that very often these things are kind of they are kind of outsourced, and the real ownership is not in the business people. But in order to do that, obviously you need to be able to use those kinds of methodologies and ways of working that are not technical, that are understandable also for people who are coming maybe outside of the IT and tech world. So that's clearly one thing that we see, and also there's obviously now some things that AI can do. I'll come back to that in a moment. The other one is obviously we believe since we rely on these low-code, no-code platforms, we think that there is so many things that the companies could benefit out of those systems that they very often already use instead of starting custom coding from scratch. So many companies, they especially in the era of AI, right? So So many companies have already platforms that are equipped with built-in AI capabilities. Now, why wouldn't you use that? Why are you starting to build those features from the beginning? And whether you use Salesforce's or ServiceNow's or SAP's or Microsoft solutions or whatever, but I think in order to get value out of AI, you probably should already take the advantage of what you have already, and kind of if you're not able to do something with that tech stack that you already have, maybe that's the situation. Then you need to kind of start thinking that should we maybe develop something on our own, or what should we do? But it's kind of silly that many organizations are now developing things from scratch, what they could actually do with their platforms that they already use. Finally, the tip number 3 is the operating model, or this kind of a common governance model. So a common cookbook for whoever is involved in these kinds of situations. It covers not only this business and IT, but also, of course, the externals. So very often we see customers where first of all, they don't have their internal common way of working when it comes to leading development or leading IT or leading AI development especially. And not only that, but we also see that now that they have a lot of different vendors or service providers, all of these are actually using their own little ways of working. So it's a complete mess because the organization doesn't have a common way of working, and it's even that all the vendors are using different types of. You can already think it in a way that even though everyone is talking about Scrum, but Scrum means so many different things for so many different companies that if you haven't really put that even Scrum methodology into one common cookbook, then there's no way it can work efficiently. And this is again topic where by utilizing AI in a smart way and maybe using simple AI bots to say that, okay, what do we even mean? What should you do in this phase of project? What should you take into this and this meeting and so on? Then that could already bring a lot of advantages. So in a nutshell, yeah, these were the topics, and obviously now AI can be embedded into all of these things. There's a busy slide as well, but let's not start reading that. I can deliver that later on. But as said, this is the time to value flow that we are talking about, and this is actually now what we are currently working on and helping our customers with that how do we now agentize this whole flow actually. So how do we bring different kinds of AI agents into planning phase, different kinds of AI agents in the building phase, and different kinds of AI agents in the running phase, and to help the customers to be able to run this cycle as fast as possible. And it means basically that with the help of AI and agents and workflows, those can do a lot of many things independently already, but more that they can actually advise, especially the business people who are not experts in IT development or digital development, to understand that what should we do next and what should happen after that and what should happen after that, and you know, in very everyday situations. For example, that you know, we have a steering meeting coming up, so which documents do we typically bring there? Okay, these are the documents. So the AI can help the user in producing those, or it can update the demand planning portfolio where we store all our ideas. Well, it can automatically do that. And that's actually something I could even show in practice what does that mean then. So a couple of demo clips here, and now here we are now using ServiceNow just as an example. So in this exercise, customer or user is saying that I want to replan our customer portal. Okay, well then you have a very simple kind of a agent or a bot, AI bot, starting to think that, okay, what is it that you want to do here, and starting to first of all question that, okay, and explain that how can the bot help this user in this situation, and actually here you can already see that now this was kind of identified, and next agent that is gonna be in the picture is something that we call the analyst bot, who is then starting to interview the user that, you know, what is it that you're actually doing, and which are the key questions that you need to be solving, and which are the information that the bot needs in order to act accordingly. This is how it looks from under the hood in ServiceNow environment, saying that these were actually the questions there that was given to the user. And here, basically now, we can already see that this is a multi-agent environment where the user is being interviewed. But what happens actually in the background is that we combine different kinds of AI agents into this kind of a workflow. So now the user is saying that I need completely new customer portal and this and that, and based on that, this navigator agent here identifies that, okay, actually the next, or tries to understand that what is the next, or who is the next AI agent that who should then be taken into this flow. So basically now it created some kind of a summary of this, and it's a little bit slow, but creates a summary and then plans the next steps, and it actually goes now to the orchestrator again, who is then actually then igniting the next agent in the loop, who is now something that we call a business analyst, who starts to then dig deeper and deeper that what do you mean with your new customer portal, and what should happen there, and what should not be there, and so forth and so forth. And actually here, the discussion goes on and on. What's the funny thing here is that actually in ServiceNow we are even able to take this customer portal renewal into what is called the planning portfolio. So basically the agents can take that development initiative already into the kind of a development backlog automatically based on the discussion that was happening in the chat. So that's just the one simple example how this what I mean with this one, that you know, all of these kinds of little agents here. Obviously the story could continue that, okay, next we have, for example, project planning agent, and taking that customer portal renewal example from the portfolio and start identifying which kind of a project it might be to really renew the customer portal, and what should we do next, and who should we contact, and who are the key stakeholders, and what are our company let's say enterprise architectural principles, and which technology should we use, and blah 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 blah. And so obviously we cannot, and we are not even trying to automate or kind of run this whole cycle independently, but being able to assist and help people in being more productive along the way. So this is basically why we rely on this platform, ServiceNow being one example here. So we have combined user experience, agentic AI, and the data and the tools all in one platform. Obviously, this discussion could have happened in Teams or Slack or whatever. We at least believe that it's quite a powerful mixture since we have the workflows and the agents and data and all the knowledge and memory on one platform. We don't need to integrate. We don't need to start building them from scratch because they come out of the box with these platforms. But obviously, yeah, it's a little bit different from technology to technology. But whatever, if you talk about Salesforce or Workday or SAP, the similar logic obviously applies. Maybe finally, I really believe that it's actually the operating models that make the difference, even though it's a little bit, mumbo jumbo. This kind of a this is something that cannot be solved only with technology. Let's put it like that. It's something that we need to kind of systematically lead and follow. But we definitely need models like need to be implemented so that we operate with the common ways and common practice. It doesn't have to be too bureaucratic or anything like that. But especially when we now go deeper and deeper with AI and further and further, as said in the beginning, the speed is not gonna slow down. It's gonna increase all the time. And if we don't have the models for leading the development, and if we don't especially have the models to control and manage all the possible agents that we have, possibly already and in the future, I think we are having a mess. One customer that we work for, it's a, let's say, a medical sector company. Well, a private doctor's appointment company. Anyway, almost like a hospital, but they, for example, they say that their doctors and employees, they start their work by entering the doctor's office or medical room, whatever you call them. And then basically they log on to their devices or iPads or whatever, and they basically just select already that I need this agent, this agent, this agent, and this agent for the next couple of hours. So one being one helping with the diagnosis, one writing descriptions, or one writing documentation for the patients and all of that. So basically they already say that, yeah, we have 50 to 100 different kinds of small AI agents. That's perfect, wonderful. I mean, they are clearly leading this path. But then when we ask them that, okay, how do you manage them? How do you keep track that which agents do you have? Who is responsible of each of these agents? Who is leading the continuous development of each of these 100 agents? Then they start like, well, that's a good question. Well, maybe. so maybe they manage it now when they only have 50 of those. But when they have 150 or 500 of those little agents, and especially when operating with patients and medical stuff, I think that's not gonna end well if they don't kind of invest in these kinds of situations. But I really think that this same situation is with many other industries. And on the other hand, one customer said that let's we don't want to start from those bureaucratic and governance things. I mean, now we just want to test these things and see if the agents really work and all of that. Well, that's a fair point as well. There is no need to kind of start first kind of creating the perfect world from the governance or management perspective, but maybe it's good advice to kind of take little steps here in the governance side as well, and the kind of way of working perspective as well, while doing the first demos or first tests and proof of concepts or whatever. So yeah, as a summary, obviously now I been trying to say at least that with the help of AI, we definitely can improve and we should improve the time to value, and that is crucial for increasing our productivity if we want to catch up the Americans or whoever, or at least if we want to increase the national productivity at some point. And by the way, it was interesting comment from Jensen Huang, the NVIDIA CEO, saying that he believes that it's actually not United States who's going to win the race, but actually Chinese. So now at least in the Nordics, we hear a lot of discussion about that should we rely on these American technologies or try to build some European competition. But I don't know if it's going to be China who is winning this race, then I don't know. I kind of tend to believe that American version is still better than Chinese, but that's another story. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Sofigate has a lot of AI services. You can check them out if you're interested. At this point of time, thanks for your interest. If you want to have the latest AI study that we did, you can download it. It's free of charge from there. And if you want to connect with me in LinkedIn, feel free. If you want to hear more about Sofigate, read from there, and the business technology standard, that's free of charge as well. So check it out if you want. But otherwise, yeah, thanks so much for listening, and have a very nice rest of the conference here. Thank you.